my lordy. Oh my lordy. Come on, matey, in we go. Wow. I kid you not, first cast, it's a decent fish. Hadn't turned on the GoPro, I was literally casting, retrieving, was going to turn on the GoPro, and oh man, I love this place. So there you go. How's that for an opener? Far out, man. What is he? He is 32. That is bloody nuts, man. That is absolutely nuts. Hadn't turned any of the cameras on, literally just a cast, get the braid out there, get it a bit wet. Right, let's see if there's any more around at my new favourite spot. Drifted up there, I was looking at everything but the water. Three casts, two fish. Here's the Elvis. That one's a bit smaller, but another fish. That was an interesting start. Kind of big fish, small fish, smaller fish. Yeah. This weather is not looking great, if I'm completely honest. There is a bit of a ripple on the water, but it's not windy yet, so I am gonna disappear out of Nursery Bay. It's like a little beautiful PPP fishing pool. And I'm going to head over to Toga Point, as it is my favourite spot on the lake, and if it's not breezy, it would be good to go and have an explore. And as you may have noticed, toy number one is I've picked myself up a sounder. Now at the moment, apart from the fact I'm pleased it's working, because it's quite a palaver gluing everything into the kayak, I'm not entirely clued up on how to read it, so I'm not really using it as such. I've got it turned on and I'm trying to figure out how it works and what the display means and the different symbols and stuff. Yeah, at the moment the interesting thing about it is it's showing me depth, it's showing me water temperature, so yeah, and I think it's going to make finding the weed towers and the fish not necessarily on Kurwongbah, but on places like Anogra a lot easier. Yeah, let's get across this buoy line, head over to Toga Point, which is still in kind of unrippled water, so you never know. Yeah, let's see if we can find some more fish. I mean, you know, 5 minutes casting around for 3 fish, can't be bad, right? Yeah, there you go. There you go. Couldn't resist a good old Elvis. Yeah, only a little, but it's the second sign of life that I've had. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to put the cameras away for a minute. None of my cameras are waterproof. Yeah, this rain, I can't work out if it's set in or not, but yes, I think the cameras are going to go away for a minute. Where the weed bed is. Oh, still on? Work out if this is the same fish or I picked up another one. Another very small fish. I think I need to go around the other side of this weed bed. There's definitely some fish around, but I don't want to be catching 10 centimetre fish. Well, after a run of small fish, it feels good to get something of a slightly better size. There you go, what are we talking? Yeah, 29, 30-ish. Yeah, they're being very, very tentative. This guy hit the lure a couple of times before he really smashed it. I think it's just when it's flat calm like this, the fish are a lot more edgy. It's a very big one, but that is definitely a fish. Another little E. Nice bite though. Yeah. I think, not sure how much longer I'm going to stick around here if there's a lot of very small ones. That's my spot. The big fish. Pull back there then. There's plenty of fish around. There's loads. If I'm reading the sounder right, there's loads showing on the sounder. They're all just titchy. So what do? Do I wade through all the small ones until I find a bigger one? God, it is all about this side of the weed bed at the moment. Okay, this is getting a little bit silly now. What is that? 3 from 3? Which is fun. But gotta be a bigger one. I can't keep the lure in the water. It's just ridiculous. There's so many fish here. Whee! Alright, tiger. Okay, so it's 7:30. I've had a run of a couple of good fish, but predominantly small fish. I've also been joined by a cormorant. Oh, far out. Literally, I cannot keep this lure in the water, it's ridiculous. But they're all very, very small fish. So, not much of a challenge here. I kind of feel, I know I can catch fish here. And there are a couple of spots from my previous session with Peter from PTP Fishing, where we kind of had a bit of a mooch around some new spots. Now, I would like to head over to this corner, but there are a lot of rowers around at the moment. Titchy fish. Yeah, there's a lot of rowers around at the moment, and I know that corner does not do particularly well when there's a lot of disturbance. I think that's why I've had success in there much later in the day. Yeah, so I feel the move is in the air before this breeze picks up. I've got this surface lure that I want to try, and again, I know that's what Peter picked up his Saratoga on, so yeah, apparently the bite was pretty explosive. It's just so many small fish. Yeah, time to move on. A plague of small fish. And yeah, I can feel that breeze beginning to pick up already. One more cast over the top here. I think this little guy proves my point. It's definitely Small Fish Friday. There are fish here, there's definitely fish around. But they're very small. Feels like it might be a bit like that. Well, there's definitely some fish around this spot. I mean, yeah, 28. I'm going to set the world on fire, but definitely some fish around, which is nice. Fish from a new spot. It's always a bit of a winner. So I'm going to persevere. I haven't even drifted down into the bay yet, so yeah. Yeah, that's not a big fish. Well, I'm picking them off. They're not really getting much bigger. 26-ish. But yeah, definitely picking them off. It's really interesting watching this bay on the sounder actually. Where the fish are, where the weed is. I think that's what it's going to be most useful for. Ooh, off he goes. This bay is jam-packed full of fish. I keep picking them off, but yeah, nothing of a decent size yet. You gotta love a kayak bite. Love it. That's me. Just keeping on, keeping on. Well, it's been fun catching fish from a new spot, but I think it's time to move on. It hasn't been anything of a decent size, and yeah, I feel like I've exhausted possibilities here, so it's definitely time to move on. Plus this wind is drifting right over the weed. So yeah, question is, I can't decide whether to go right up the lake and get to Kangaroo Point before the wind really kicks in, because I seldom get to fish it when there's not an absolute chop on the water. And it'd be nice to get in there and have a bit more of an explore, because the last couple of sessions I've caught fish, but I haven't really got a handle on where the weed bed is, or yeah, where the fish are liking to hang out, mainly because the wind is just blowing me in circles. So yeah, cracking to get some fish from a new spot. I can definitely see this having potential, this area, so I will be heading back here at some point. So I think for now, let's get my row on and blast up the lake. So I decided a quick lure change just before I left. Probably the biggest fish I pulled out of this spot, to be fair. What's he on? He's on 30. Much bigger fish. Switch from the Elvis to the Bud just to see if I could buy another bite. The other thing that I'm trying out, another new toy, is this stuff. It's a scent gel that you put on the lures. Yeah, gimmick or something that actually works, I don't know, but I figured it's definitely worth a try. So yeah, I'm going to have another couple of casts just because that was a decent fish. See if I can pick up another one. Yeah, go the Bud. That's the kind of bite you like. All around. That's the kind of bite you like. Drifted off. Right by the killer. Had a run of really small fish. This one's slightly better. It's not 26, 27 centimetres. Interestingly, normally the fish are on that side. Today, they're on this side. I keep getting hits right by the kayak. So, I've got a suspicion I might be fishing the bay wrong. I think I need to be over there, casting this way, drifting through. Well, it appears that Kangaroo Point is not going to be the one today. And yes, when I got here, it was windy as all hell. It's calmed down a little bit now. Interestingly, the couple of fish that I did pick up weren't where they normally are over here. It was actually here. Which, yeah, slightly confusing. I don't know whether it's wind direction or what, but yeah, not sure. And the bites I got were, well, apart from that one that slammed it right. Oh, and that one. Yes, the bites that I've been getting that have been hitting right next to the kayak. And interestingly, I've just covered this entire area with the Bud, switched back to the Elvis, and that pretty much went after the first few winds of it hitting the surface. Yeah, can't quite figure it out. This actually feels like it might be a better fish. Because so far out, man, it has been Small Fish Friday. Oh, okay, that's a bit better. I'll take that. Of course, I turned the GoPro off, so I missed the bite, but it's a 29. That'll do. fish around there. Okay, so I found the edge. Well, that's encouraging. Fish from a new spot. Again, it's Small Fish Friday, so it's only a little one. Yeah. And I came into here mainly because I've never been here before. And also, I wanted to have a bit more of an experiment with the sounder. And yeah, the interesting thing is, I was trying to find the edge of the weed bed, and now I think I've found it. And that's where I put our fish on. So, let's have another go. This fish walloped it. It's moving at speed. God, this area is absolutely choked with weed. Oh, it's not a bad one. There we go. Well, that was a bit of a random cast, just to clear the line. And yeah, I was actually winding in really fast. And yeah, absolutely walloped it. It is interesting what's beginning to pick up a little bit more of the sounder now. Yeah, I think that's how I've managed to get those last two fish. Yeah, a little bit closer in. Cool. Right. That's the one. It is Pelvis. That's not a bad fish. God, I'm really glad I came up to just kind of explore this spot. That's not a bad one at all. Might be fish of the day. That's a 34. That's a cracking bite as well. I hit it literally just by the kayak. God. Yeah, there you go. Loving it. Oh, you've unhooked yourself. Cheers, dude. Only little, but far out. He absolutely walloped that. Just cannot get enough of this guy. This one is might be due for retirement. He's definitely losing some of his gold paint. That is pretty decent. Good. Is it still on? Does that come off? Oh no, he's there. This is turning into a lot of fun. Yeah. That was a cracking bite. No one's broken the 40 yet, but it's another nice fish, and there's still plenty showing on the sounder.
The next 20 minutes or so was crazy. It genuinely didn't matter where I cast, I'd get a hit. The water was literally alive with fish. And yeah, it was slowly dawning on me that I'd found a big shoal of bass.
Frantically changing a GoPro battery, and I just saw all of these fish on the sounder.
This run of fish were all on the small side, so I decided not to film all of them, but the question was, if I waded through all the little ones, would a big one finally put in an appearance?
Well, that's an interesting hour or so. I've really enjoyed that. So, yeah, in terms of using a sounder as a tool to find fish, this thing has just really worked today. I must admit, I don't really know what I'm doing, so I might be using it completely incorrectly. But basically, I've used it to find the edge of the weed beds, and then when I've done that, I've just kept an eye on where it says there's fish, and when I see a number of fish in front of me, I just cast towards it, and I've been picking them off. I've not filmed a lot of them because, as with this little fella, they're very small. Yeah, and every time the lights are backed off, I've just changed lures. So I'm using the Bud now. I was using the Elvis earlier on, and that was working a treat. So interestingly, saying that I wasn't filming small fish, that's probably the smallest that I've caught in the last 20 minutes or so. But yeah, literally where I'm looking on the sounder now, I can see where the weed is, and I can see what the sounder thinks are fish. So I'm just using that as my direction, chucking out, seeing if I pick anyone up. Yeah, this is a really interesting spot. I've decided to call it Shed Bay because there's a rickety old shed just on the water's edge over there, and I will definitely be coming back here. I wondered whether the motorsport would completely put the fishing off, but they don't seem to mind, which is fantastic because it means that, you know, as a fisherman, you don't have to be nearly as stealthy as you do on other parts of the lake. And yeah, I've had an absolute blast here. It's been great. But I feel a move is in the air. So it's 10:20, and there's a couple of other spots that I really want to try. So yeah, I think I'm going to try one more drift through here, casting at fish as I see them. And I think I'm going to curve round the corner into fish in front of the big house. Yeah, drift on down the lake. Yeah, I'm really glad that I came and investigated this spot because it's absolutely bang on. There are just an insane amount of fish here. I really don't know why I was contemplating a move. There were just so many fish here. And as it turns out, I'm really glad I didn't move, as after a couple more small fish, an absolute beast came along. Wind's changed. Alright, he's out. Feels like a better fish. Sadly I didn't have the GoPro running, but I feel like, oh yeah, okay, right, he's definitely picked up. Whoa. Right. Whoa. Well, it's taken the best part of the day, but I've finally caught bass of the day. This thing is a beast. This is a ridiculous fish. Orange. Oh my lord, look at the size of that. That is ludicrous. That is... I'm going to give about 44. What a donkey. And look at the tummy on it. Unreal. Just stunning. God. I don't know how heavy he is, but that's a fish. That is the bass. Like I say, it's taken me all day, but it was definitely worth sticking it out here for a little while longer. That is insane. Okay. I'm gonna get a couple of pickies and slip them back. What a fish. Just unreal, man. Unreal.
Another bite. Just sitting just on the edge of this weed drop off.
Fantastic fish. Look at that. What's this one going? Okay, so he's 35. Oh, he just absolutely walloped the lure. And there's just so many fish because basically just a weed bed and this drop off, and there's just fish after fish after fish after fish out here. Something else that is interesting, one of the smaller ones that I dragged in, bloody huge great eel was sat behind it, just come along and just went under the boat. Right.
It's literally a fisher chuck. It's unreal. That's another small one. Oh no, he's pulling back, Definitely coming back. Oh, it's another decent fish. That is another decent fish. Yeah, you'll do. Oh my golly gosh.
I can't quite believe this is happening. That is just an insane bass. Oh, he's not quite as big. 39. Far out. It's just unbelievable. If I can find this drop off, it's just a ridiculous amount of big fish around. Love it. This was turning into an absolute dream session. The bites were coming thick and fast, and even the smaller bass were putting up a good account of themselves. The fish were just so active and fired up. To be honest, it was a struggle keeping a lure in the water. I was having just the best time. Kurwongbah yet again was producing just amazing fishing.
Good one. spinning in the kayak. And they stay nice and low. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Look at the size of that thing. That is insane. What are we on? Oh, he's another 39. Look how fat it is though. That is a really, really weighty fish. Oh, just unbelievable action, man.
I simply can't explain how constant the action was. Just looking at the file names from the GoPro shows that all of these bites were coming in sequence. It was literally a fish a chuck. How the fish hadn't backed off, I'll never know. I can only imagine they got themselves so fired up that they were snapping at the first thing that whizzed past them, and in this case, it was either the Bud or the Elvis, and it was hooking them every time. This is a big one. I think he's just putting in some weed. Oh no, he's just woken up. Maybe it is a decent fish. Cool, alright. Unreal.
This drop off is just insane. Look at that. Look at that. What are we on this time? Yeah, another 39. And they are so solid, but really, really heavy fish. It's just unreal. I mean, I don't want to sound blasé about it, but today's just insane. It's gone from being Small Fish Friday to just massive bass after massive bass. It's just unreal. Question is there another 40? I'm getting a lot of kind of 36, 38, 39. You know, I don't want to say I'm greedy or anything, but you know, another 45? Or you know what? Even a 50. You know what, Kurwongbah, if you can come up with a 50, I'm not going to say no. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't matter where I cast here. I either get a... That's literally a cast to just clear the line. I wasn't really aiming for a fish there. I don't think it's a massive one. No, he's not. It's another one. But seriously. Now, I don't know if it is making any difference, but I am putting this lure gel every kind of drift back into the bay. I'm just giving it a little top up. I haven't switched back to the Elvis because the Bud is just smashing it at the moment, so no need to go back. But I don't know if the scent is what's picking up the bigger fish or what, but far out, man, definitely is. And the combination of the scent and the lure is the thing that's doing it. So yeah, there you go. A little one who gets photographed purely because I was doing a piece to camera. Right, let's get back in position. Let's put a bit more of this stuff on that lure. And, yeah, 45 would be good, right? I mean, I don't want to be greedy or anything, but 45 would be nice. Yeah, I think that's the fish I'm looking for. I think that's going to be another small one. Oh, it's not a bad one. This is getting a little bit silly now, if I'm completely honest. I didn't know there were that many fish of this size in Kurwongbah, to be fair. Whee! Far out. Look at that. What are we up to now? Oh, easy tiger. Oh, got quite excited there. I thought it was a 40, but it's about 39. Again, but just unreal, man. Unreal. It's just crazy. Typical. GoPro ran out just before I got the bite. Quite work out if this is a big fish and he just hasn't woken up yet, or it's a small one. So I'm gonna go. So yeah, interestingly, sun's come out, and yeah, the fishing has slowed up a bit. I think I had the best conditions, a little bit of ripple on the water, a nice breeze, but there's still some fish showing, so I'm gonna have another couple of casts here, and then yeah, I've filled my boots. I think it's time to move on. I'm still getting bites. It's my first cast for a little while because this wind is blowing me around all over the place. And yeah, I will say, once the wind gets up, my eyes water. As my eyes water, I get a bit of sun lotion in them. Once I get a bit of sun lotion in them, that's it. It's just horrible stuff. Hey, where are you going? That's it, come around this side, why don't you? That's another decent fish. That's another decent fish, and he's in the net. Well, I thought with the sun coming out, that was it. But, after kind of, what are we on there? 35. After repositioning myself, getting sun lotion sorted out, getting sun lotion in my eye, getting sun lotion out of my eye. Far out, I hate sun lotion. Yeah, that was the first cast. So I was a bit surprised, to be honest. I thought with the sun coming out, the fish would be completely backed off, but they do still seem to be here. Well, that wind has picked up and the sun's come out, and it has changed this spot considerably. I don't know how much audio is actually going to come out on this recording. It is interesting, with sun on the water I can see just how much weed I'm fishing over, which provides perfect cover for the fish, and I think that's why there's been so many here. But seriously, what a spot, far out. I'm so glad that I came and checked it out. In all honesty, when I pulled out of Kangaroo Point, I was feeling a little bit despondent. I'd had so many small fish. It was, yeah, I didn't paddle out with a smile on my face, if you know what I mean. And I was in two minds about coming up here, but my brain kept on telling me, no, come on, you said you were going to try new spots. And far out am I glad that I did, because, yeah, just phenomenal fishing. But yes, with this sun and the sudden change in wind, things are proving a little bit harder now. I think the fish have backed off as well. Oh, well, apart from this one, obviously. Yeah, they definitely feel like they've backed off a bit. So, oh, he's weeded me solid. Are you going to kick out of whatever you're weeded into? Still pulling back. Yeah, there we go. Quite like the sound of the motorsport in the background, it's quite good fun. But if I'm completely honest, it makes me want to have a go. Hey, that's another good fish. It's another good fish. It's interesting, as that wind sprung up, it feels like it's died off again. Not a bad fish. What's that on? Yeah, 31. It'll do. Fish around. Still fish around. What's that say? It feels like a small one, but he's really picked up. Look, I am trying to move, but these guys keep coming along. Carry on. Number 35. Just keep on coming. It's amazing, there's a gap in the weed that I keep seeing on the sounder. Every time I get a lure in between that weed, bang, off it goes. Whew. Well, Shed Bay has been amazing, but this wind is not amazing. It's making things very, very difficult. I keep getting wind knots, I keep getting tangled, and yeah, it's not making things fun. There are still a phenomenal amount of fish here, and I am still getting bites, so it's very hard to leave, but at the same time, it's becoming very, very difficult fishing. So, time to move on. Where to? I don't know yet. I'm going to head up the lake no, I'm going to head down the lake because I'm up the lake at the moment. And yeah, see if I can find somewhere that isn't quite so bloody windy. But seriously, what a spot. I mean, just phenomenal fishing. I've had such a fantastic time. But yes, I don't want to reel in, I'd rather stay here, but at the same time, it would be good to go somewhere. So yeah, one last cast. That'll be it. Attempts at that, did ya? But there you go, new spot, first cast. Fair fish. Interesting bite. That's another 30 centimetre. But yes, the drift here is insane, and I am already in the bank, literally just unhooking this fish. So yeah, I don't know how long I'm going to stay here, to be honest. I think the wind will drive me a bit insane. It seemed rude not to stop in at Toga Point on my way back, just to see if anyone was around. As it turned out, the smaller fish from earlier were still about and happy to take a lure, but by this point I was absolutely bushed. It was a full day on the water and I'd more than filled my boots. What an amazing session, so many small fish, so many big fish, just the best time. Fish. Always good to end on a fish, right? There you go. I had just done my outro across the way here, and yeah, picked up a very small bass. But this fella's a much better fish. 32. There's fish flipping around on the surface over here. But yeah, what a fantastic session. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it started pretty slow and I had to wade through a lot of small fish. But yeah, trying that new spot after drifting out of Kangaroo Point feeling very despondent was, yeah, just such a good call, and I had a fantastic time in there. I definitely will be giving it another go. So yeah, like the video if you did, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one. And who knows, it might not be at Kurwongbah. I've got a trip planned to Enoggera Reservoir next week, so you know, mix it up a little bit. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.